Hi, this is Nina Rafaela Morocco from Rafaela Soul Sessions, and I am here today with my lovely friend and colleague, Suzana Simencic, and we are going to be discussing visualization and visuals and all that good stuff that is involved with the work we do. So I'd like to welcome Suzana. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm so great today, and thank you for doing this video again with me. It's always such a pleasure to do that, and we certainly have a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of laughing and a lot of good stories, and even meeting with you is like raising the vibration a lot.
I love it. I love that when we get together, it just flows so nicely, and we manage to just get to a really good place. And it's nice to share that with our viewers, our combined energy and the stuff that we've got to say, because it's good fun. You've got some stories about visualization.
It's getting me laugh again. No, we did have some challenges to start this one today, but
we had some laugh trying to start this conversation.
What we wanted, or what we want to talk about today is about images, or the scenes that we see or that we get in the back of our minds. And it may be like even during the daytime, or maybe before falling asleep, or maybe during our meditation, or during our sessions. And it could be from any kind of life, or from any kind of experience in the session, or during the dream. And you see those stories or those images, or maybe you just sense, and it's like your guide sending you information, or the source, or the God, or whomever there is. It's just they are showing you the possibilities of how it could be, or how a certain situation is going to to reveal to you or to unfold. And it's just allowing you to see beyond of what is known to your mind. And just
like when we're kids, when we're children, we're so full of this like amazing world of imagination, and it's just so creative and just wonderful being a child, being able to imagine things and create things and all that stuff. But as we start to go a bit older, there's quite damaging things that are said to kids, like, oh, that's just your imagination. And it puts a damper on how like amazing the imagination actually is, and like what a tool it is for us being able to create things in our lives. And I think that's a big thing about this work. It's helping us remember how much of a tool our imaginations really are, and how we can use them really to help manifest the things in our lives that we want to bring forward. And that's why, having these sessions is such a good way to flex the muscle of the imagination, because I love that line, and I can't remember where I first heard it. I think it was maybe Alison Cole. She said, imagination is the language of the higher self. And I just love that. I love that, because it brings it all together and sort of bursts your kind of mind open to go, oh no, wait a minute. It's a good thing, the imagination. But it can be quite hard for people that maybe aren't used to diving into that, to really get involved and really help themselves do a session by really using their imagination.
Yeah, the main thing or the main reason why I started doing this work is because I was so inspired by the stories of this, like success stories of the sessions, because I got this image, or I was able to see or to learn, you know, how the clients were able to see themselves, you know, the messages from the, like being their own channel. And that was so interesting to me, because I have to admit I had some, well, it was one specific bad experience with the channeler. And it was like after this experience, or even during that, it was like my guides were coming in and telling me, you can totally do this by yourself, but not channeling for others, but you can experience that for yourself. You know, you have access to this, to the source of all the information, and you can do this by yourself. You know, why don't you trust yourself? And it was so eye-opening, and it's like almost, at least that's how I see myself, like an ambassador of well, if I could say it now in Slovene, but like ambassador for diving into this imagery, or to open up this imagination, because everyone can experience that. And of course, a lot of people, or many people, including me, like a few years back, or maybe 2 years back, we're just like, everyday routine is like, it's like too much for us. And but if we can sit on the couch in the evening and watch TV and dive into that movie, or maybe take a book and read a book and just like become part of that book, then we can also go into meditation, or go into the session, into this with this induction, and then we are also able to like experience or relive all of those stories, you know. And this is the most fascinating thing, like the most wonderful thing that can happen, because so many closets open up with so many wonderful things in it. So
yeah, exactly. And sometimes it takes a while to get that's why we do pre-talks, so that we can explore our clients and their connection with their imagination, and explore how they visualize, and in what way the information comes to them, because information in session comes to us, and it can come to us in different ways depending on how we kind of take in the information. I had a client yesterday who was really visual. She saw, like, in great detail, lots of visual stuff. But then my last session, when I went under about a month or so ago, I was getting very vague glimpses of things which were just giving me the idea. And then everything else was just coming from knowing. Intuition. I don't know which one. It was just, I would get a little outline of something that would give me the idea of what I was seeing, and then the rest was just like, oh well, that's that, and that's that, and that's that, and that, and that, and the story would unfold that way. So it's interesting how we can take in the information that comes to us from our higher self in a session in all these different ways, and it's all, I guess, part of our imagination. It's all part of our connection to our higher self and to source and to all that stuff. So yeah,
and it gets even, like you mentioned, the connection or your intuition, it gets really stronger. And because you get those images or the sensations also during your daytime, and you know exactly what's going on, and that's what we are trying to, like, not only to teach people, but to give them this opportunity to experience themselves, so that then they can, you know, that then they know how this works. And of course, because you can also then ask questions like, okay, why did that happen right now? And it's like you're communicating with your higher self, like real time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and it's also like, because you mentioned your clients and the sessions, and because when at least when I do a visualization, I try to make it as comfortable as possible, of course, like not as comfortable as possible, but I make it comfortable, like really getting into this nice place. And but when you have a session, you sometimes see something unpleasant at first, but you can get profound information and realization from that, and so much knowledge, and then the doors, they're just opening up, they keep opening up, and there's a whole new spectrum of things that you like start seeing and noticing, and yeah, it can happen in everyday life, in your dream time, and this is what imagination can do for you, you know, so many wonderful things.
Yeah, it's like we're activating the part of the brain that is normally functioning when we're dreaming, but we're doing that in everyday waking life. So it's like a daydream, but not at all. It's its own unique version of that, and it's just such a wonderful thing to play with, and it's just like boundless and endless where it can take you, and how we can play with it, and like we become creative, and you know, it boosts our own imagination. Even as practitioners, it helps boost us, and it's
also creativity, you know. Before, like, since I started this work, and the more deeper I dive in, the better it gets, and you become so much like more creative, like you get to the solutions real quick, because you allow to see the solutions that maybe you haven't thought about before, because they just come from somewhere, because you allow it. And it's not only, like I said, it's so beneficial in your everyday life. So what I wanted to say, maybe I could give one example. One of my examples that I prepared, it's actually connected to it's connected with a romantic relationship from my early age, but it really nicely shows how to get information from your dreams, or how to get more trust into what's going to happen. So it was when I was a young girl, like 14 years old, really long time ago. And it happened in the nighttime. I was actually madly in love with a boy a year older than myself then. And I even visited a computer science course because of him. And back then I wasn't really happy with the way I looked. You know, my looks, I wasn't like, you know, like every teenager, like every girl at that age. And he was so cute and handsome and good looking. And I thought that he would not even want to talk to me, like, ever. So, and because of my beliefs, I constantly had those dreams of not being confident, and whenever in my dreams we got closer and supposed to kiss, I woke up. Or something else happened. You know, it never got to the point where we kissed. And it was going on for weeks and even months, and then something shifted in me at the end of our school year, actually. I suppose I gave myself a chance of being accepted the way I was, and I stopped worrying whether he would like me or not. And one night I had this exact same dream again, and and I thought in my dreams, you know, I can still remember it, even if it's so long ago. I was even thinking about, yeah, right, he's not going to kiss me again. So why this dream again? So, but he did, and it was so wonderful. And I was so happy the next morning when I woke up. But we, at that time, we haven't seen each other a lot because he went to another school, but I still liked him so much. And so I guess it was 6 months later or so. You can just guess what happened. We went for a 6-day ski trip, and we somehow ended up together. So I still don't know how this happened, but yeah, I can now declare he was an amazing kisser. But what I realized was that, well, we ended up together, but I realized I was too young for a relationship, and after one day I ended it. But this experience of having these emotions and dreams changed everything for me and for my future, because it was so clear to me that I can change my reality. You know, yeah. Only just by, I got goosebumps right now in my left leg, so it's a confirmation. And it was like a small thing, like a shift, because even like thinking about it made it change. So
yeah, that's beautiful, beautiful story. And it's so true that, you know, our dreams and our daydreams, and it's, you know, it's our imaginations are all, you know, we can use them so to help us in such a profound way, to help us understand, you know, what it is that's trying to what our higher selves are trying to tell us, that, you know, we can attract things to us simply by changing our own perception of ourselves, you know. And sometimes we don't even realize that we're doing it. Sometimes we don't even realize that we're actually blocking the thing that we so want because of how we're actually perceiving ourselves. So yeah, that's a lovely, lovely story, and a lovely example of, yeah, how our dreams and our imaginations can be nudging us and poking us.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I actually have another example about, and it's all about love today. And how I was visualizing love, and it's not, you know, it's not only, has nothing to do with law of attraction. I'm not talking about law of attraction because it's totally different thing, and I don't know much, or maybe I do, I don't know. Just the term of law of attraction, it's not like I want to dive in that. It was actually 4 years ago, and it was after 2 really unhealthy relationships, and after a really tough breakup with a boyfriend, and few ugly short relationships. Like I was like, the men were really treating me so bad, but I'm really thankful for them now. And it's me, I was allowing them to treat me bad. So, but it seemed back then I would never be able to trust again. Like I will never be able to love myself because my self-confidence was so low, and like my self-esteem was so low. It was like, I can't imagine it even now, you know, after going through that. And I was 34 years old. And, you know, when you believe there are no good guys left out there, you know, you think maybe they're all like married or in relationships and so on. So at that point, I decided I will just learn how to experience the emotion of being loved by a man, even without a man, you know. And yes, I wrote down a list, you know, what I wanted and what I didn't want at all in a relationship with man. But I just knew it wasn't enough. So before going to sleep, I was like daydreaming or visualizing and whatever you might call it. And it was not about like I was going through a film. or like a whole meditation. It was just like calling in a certain image of this man, and just imagining us on a certain place, and then I just let it, let it flow. And it was actually very challenging to do so because of my belief system. It wasn't that easy. If a woman tries to imagine a man of her, so to say, dreams, it's not that easy. So, and I actually imagined like a Matthew McConaughey type of man, because it was easier. So I imagined the man, and I saw us together on the river, me teaching him how to stand up paddle, because that was my work back then. And I imagined being loved, and did so for a few weeks. Like I did like for 1 month or even more. And I can remember exactly the timing when I felt that I was enough, and that I can actually, that I don't need a man, right now, that I can love myself, and that I enjoy the life that I'm living right now. And okay, and if someone shows up, then this is fine for me, but otherwise I'm okay. So exactly 2 weeks after that, I met my Simon by exact same river that I have been like imagining. Wow. Only a different town, and one of our first dates were stand-up paddling classes. So, and we're still doing it together. So.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
It's an amazing example of how our imagination can actually manifest the things that come into our lives, because when we put that out, that frequency out of ourselves, it then begins to create form in our lives, and that's why things happen, because everything is energy, even our thoughts, and it's all energy. So when we are putting that out to the universe, that's when it transforms and transmutes into actually our real experience. I pulled a card the other day, because I'm doing cards on my Facebook page. I'm doing like a card. It was supposed to be a card a day, but it's not. It's a card every other day. But the other day I picked imagination. I don't know if that's imagination. And funnily enough, I didn't actually post the whole message on the cards. I just put the first few lines because I was in a bit of a rush and I was going to go somewhere, and I just thought, oh well, I'll just do a wee bit. So it was a bit of a half-hearted to put a card up. But actually what you're talking about is so in line to what the card says, and especially the bit about relationships. I'll just read the first part of the oracle message, and then I'll read the relationship message. Mm-hmm. So the oracle message is, who do you want to be? What do you need to believe in order to have that life that you want? You were gifted the power to imagine. If you can dream it, you can create it. This is the time when your imagination is key in manifesting the life that you desire. Spend time daydreaming, fashioning a vision board to help you see your goals, or meditating. Allow the power of your creativity to deliver the messages of what feeds your soul. Then allow your feelings to mingle with your inspirations and imagine these things being real right now, and then repeat. So the relationship message is, in the matters of the heart, it's easy to daydream about the other as a means of connecting to that person. While it is romantic, if you want this relationship to be real, you need to go for it, not just dream about it. Now is the time to move beyond daydreaming into reality, beyond illusion into fruition. Relationships are about relating, to step into the dance floor where imagination partners with manifestation. The message of this card is that the person with attributes that you have imagined will enter your life. You'll be changed forever just by just imagining it.
That's such a lovely message.
So in line with what we're talking about, which is really, really lovely.
And some people, they're afraid of dreaming or even daydreaming because, when we were younger, like adults used to tell us, like, come down from the clouds. That's at least how we pronounce it here or say it here in Slovenia, like, come back to reality, don't dream too much. And it's actually the opposite, it helps you. It helps you to put things into action. And all the inventors in the world out there, and even those who like brought us till today, all those who invented cars and washing machine, and they did it with the help of their imagination. So it
look at all the best musicians, artists, in the world. Where does it all come from? It comes from their imagination. I still get people saying to me, get your head out of the clouds. I'm like, no, I like it up here. I actually enjoy it up here. He says that I can't have my head in the clouds.
You're trained, like, you can train yourself like being in the clouds and then coming down and going again back and then coming down again, and it's not like you're going to stay there. You're like, you have this free will, you can always change, and that's the most amazing thing, that we have this possibility. And that's actually what we want to tell you, especially the ones who are really like beginners, or maybe like thinking about having a session, or even, shorter sessions can be, or just, having a visualization and getting some images. And also these images tell you a lot about you. So.
Absolutely. I mean, Candace recently was talking about how she was having a pre-talk with somebody, and even just doing the practice visualizations that we do during the pre-talks, those practice visualizations can tell you so much about the person and the session and what's going to be unfolding. And it's so true, like even just that short few minutes of
And it can also, just came into my mind when I was having a practice session with, it's actually a friend of mine. We know each other for not from kindergarten, but like being 10 years old. And so we practiced, I said, okay, let's go through a short exercise. And it was so funny because her higher self, it actually stopped her from like going further. Because, her management probably knew she's going to freak out otherwise, and it was like, she was like sitting by the table and like just looking into the wall and not like wanting to move. And like, I tried to explain, you can always move the table around, or you can just stand up or go to the counter, or just take a look through the window. And she was like really stuck, and also like she imagined herself being a chicken, and she said, I just want to be home, I don't want to go anywhere, explore anything, I just want to be home. And it was so clear to me, okay, it's okay, it was totally clear that we're not going to have a session or anything. And we also talked about it, and she was like, even from that short exercise, she was so amazed, like, oh my God, I can't believe it, I'm stopping myself.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing.
It's amazing. It's like when we do CTT as well, the consciousness transformation technique is very fast technique of tapping. And we can go very, very deep, very, very quickly, but it really trains you to just trust your first impression, which is something I think a lot of our clients can struggle with sometimes, is trusting the first thing that's coming to you, and you know, trusting it so much that when your conscious mind tries to get involved and say, you know, you're just making that up, that, you know, you override that and actually go with the information that's coming through you, because the conscious mind will try and derail whatever.
Like what I tried to explain myself, or how I see things, is like it's like with imagination, you kind of create like new memories or new vibration for your body, and like your cells adapt that, and the more like new, and your brain gets all like wired and fired up, and the more you do that, the more you are also open to experience new things. And like you said, and it's at the beginning, it's like enough if you go with the first impression. And yeah, I think I'm going to be an ambassador of opening or to like firing up imagination for the rest of my life. And and I think I believe you're not that far away from me too.
I think we can both wear that badge quite proudly.
Yeah, and I'm proud to do that. So
I think with some sessions as well, you know, you can hear people say that, you know, they tried to have a session, but they felt like it didn't work because they were just making it up, or, you know, they'd watched something and they were just relating to what they had just watched, or they were just, you know, they just made it up and they're just relating to something they already know. But it's funny that the things that come into our awareness before a session and the thing are all lining us up. And it's such a lovely perspective to have, that everything that comes into our awareness before we have a session has come into our awareness for a reason. It's to help train us for that information to come through us. And so when people say, oh, I've just made it up, I'm like, well, did you really just make it up? And what's wrong with making it up? What's actually wrong with making it up? There's obviously a piece of information in that thing that you've just made up that is going to be useful for you. Yeah. So, yeah.
You know, when you don't use your imagination, you don't know how this feels like, and you don't trust the information you're getting. So that's why I believe it's important to have as many experiences as possible before maybe go like into the real session. And we are doing BQH sessions like Beyond Quantum Healing. And we were also talking about, and Candice was talking about, you know, doing shorter sessions. Not only for practice, because you can get so many informations from that shorter sessions. So I think I can talk, you know, speak for both of us, that we are open to do like shorter sessions, and we are like talking about offering that to the clients so that they can, you know, get the experience and see that this is actually real, and also see if they are ready or not, you know, because sometimes it isn't the right timing, or maybe you need to prepare more, or maybe you just, I don't know, maybe you have to like first do more on relaxing yourself, because if your body is not relaxed and you're always into like beta stage and like always like running around and like not knowing how to like sit and be calm, then maybe this is something that needs to be done first. So there are always like several steps, and we are not here to fix you, or, you know, to to like operate on you or something. It's all you. We're just helping you, and yeah,
helping you get to that place.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a longer road for some people. You know, sometimes they have to, you know, do a bit of work before the session, and sometimes they have to have a couple of sessions before they can really get to a place where they can really tap into that sort of thing. But that's why we're here, to help guide them through that process, and you know, we'll happily do that for them and with them to get to that place, which is something lovely about this work. And it's kind of like we were saying before, like how creative it makes us doing this work. And that's the lovely thing about BQH in particular, is that there's no one set rule to how we do this work. And as practitioners, we're very much able to put our own personal spin on how we create the service for the clients that we have. And that's just something that's just so lovely, and it encourages us as practitioners, I'm getting fuzzy, as practitioners, to be able to use our own imaginations in that way, create the work that's going to be most beneficial for the people that come to us. So yeah, it's lovely. So will we do a little guided visualization? Will we try and do, like, we just do one of the exercises? I thought it would be a good idea to just do one of the exercises. Our book, so I'll get my little book. And
I put my glasses down.
So I'll get you to close your eyes, and I'll get everybody watching to close their eyes as well. And so if you just want to imagine that you are standing outside your house, your own home, and you see your doorway in front of you, can you describe your doorway to me?
It's wooden. It's made out of wood, and there's this round handle on the door, and you just push your door to get in. And this handle is made of steel, and it's really cold. And when you push the door, it's really noisy. The doors are really heavy.
So I just get you to walk in now and describe to me the first things that you're seeing as you walk in.
The first thing I see are the floor. It's a brown floor, and there's a table with table in this room, and there's also a closet on the left side, and some flowers, and 2 big windows.
Wonderful. So I want you to walk to the nearest closet or wardrobe, cupboard, and when you get there, you're going to realize that there's going to be something inside that wardrobe, a surprise inside that wardrobe. So I just want you to open the door and tell me what the surprise is that's inside the wardrobe.
That's actually it's so funny. It's always so amazing. I went to another room where we storage our like our jackets and stuff, and I got really quickly there. I just like almost running there. And I opened up the closet, and there was a child sitting in the closet. So, and I helped this child to come out. So
Lovely.
She like, I think it's a female, and she was hiding there. Like,
was she related to you in any way?
No, she was afraid, actually, like really, really shy.
Okay. And is she saying anything to you?
No, she's like needing a hug. Like she's sad and just like with her gesture, she's asking to be hugged. You know.
Yeah. So you should give her a big hug then.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, well done. Well done.
It actually reminds me of something, you know, right up, because I asked myself, what do I see now? Why do I see this? And I can remember when I was little, like really little, like 3 or 4 years old, I loved sitting in the closet. I loved sitting in the closet. That was the safest and the most beautiful place for me. Like,
so maybe that was your inner child.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Maybe it was the inner child that was being told not to, or to get their head out of the cloud. Maybe that was.
Yeah. I was my parents, or at least my father. He used to like when I did something wrong, or when I was naughty. They always he used to tell me go to your room and you have to think about what you did wrong, and I spent a lot of time in that room. That's how naughty I was. Yeah. So probably, this is something I really forgot about, and it just came, up, this memory of me sitting in the closet. So that's so interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
And even in such a short time. So, it's even surprising to me. So
it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing. And the more we do it, it's like the more we flex that muscle, we connect to it. So if anybody wants to put in the comments section below if they did the visualization as well, and what they saw, and that would be great. That would be a great conversation starter for us, and I think we both love to get involved in that. So if you do see this and you want to put that in, that would be great. Yeah. So where should we go with this now? What have we planned? What have we got planned for the near future?
We're going to do a relaxation journey, but we're going to do it in a separate video. Yeah. So it's a little bit longer, so that's why we're going to divide it, and maybe Nina can put the link below, to that relaxation journey. And I will try to bring you into this lovely place. I like to be your guide, so if you want, you can join me. And and I think we covered it all, or at least what was covered today.
We're going to be working together again soon this weekend. Yeah. We're doing a swap session, but we're also doing a tandem session with another one of our lovely friends and colleagues, B. Hart, who is going to be joining us for a tandem session, which is really exciting. Oh, that's my phone.
We will inform you, about our future. I wanted to say events. Well, maybe we're going to have a future event together. Who knows? But about future videos. This was our second one, and And since we're so much enjoying to work together, to talk to each other, I think this is not going to be the last one.
I think it's nice, and it's different than just coming on in a camera yourself and musing in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Different. There's somebody to bounce it off, and there's a nice flow that happens. It's really.
And you actually, there's another person sitting on the other side. Even if it's thousands and thousands of kilometers away. So, actually, yeah. Well, we didn't say where we come from. So you're from Scotland and I'm from Slovenia. So we are I'm in the middle of Europe. You're on the island. So 1 hour apart. Well, not 1 hour apart, but 1 hour time difference. So yeah. So if you enjoyed or talk, you can just subscribe where where the buttons are, or or you can comment, or just have a session with us. And we're really looking forward to meet you.
Yeah. So tell our viewers where they can find you if they want to get in contact and have a session with you.
Yeah. Well, they can find me on quantumhealers.com. I have a profile there. They can find me on YouTube under my name, Suzana Simencic, but you can find the link below. They can also find me on my website, on Instagram. I'm still working on my English website. Because I work in several languages, so for now I have my Slovenian website up, and the most information are in Slovene. But if it resonates with you, if the energies are aligned, or energies are aligned, you can always send me a message. You can email me at suzana.simencic.com, or whatever, and we can chat and see if this is if this is going to continue. So, and where we can find you, tell us about.
I'll also put a little link below, but I'm at rafaelasoulsessions.com. I'm also on Facebook and indeed Quantum Healers and Instagram and all that social media stuff.
Yeah, Facebook.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I've really, really enjoyed this one. It's been great.
Thank you too, and I'm looking forward to our next video and to our post chat and everything that we do that we're not recording.
All right, my love. Thank you so much, and thank you all so much for watching. And we'll see you soon in our next video.
Yeah. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Bye.